guys, welcome to Wrestling Days. Welcome to another Mattel figure review. I'm really excited for this one because this is one of my favourite indie wrestlers who is now signed to the WWE main roster. He goes by the name of, I can't pronounce his first name, Cecil Yuha. He's born in California in the US. You might know him as Yuha Nation, but you probably know him better as Apollo Crews. This guy was massive on the independent scene and really achieved quite a bit. He started wrestling in 2009 and I think it was like 2010, 2011 through to 2014 he was wrestling for Dragon Gate. Now Dragon Gate are a massive, big promotion over in Japan, but they also have like a USA base as well, and he was kind of floating between the two. I can tell you that he was booked really strong. He was very, very dominant in his first year. He joined the Blood Warriors stable, and he was also named as the second best rookie of the year by Wrestling Observer. He made a real big impact in that first year. He was in the same group, that kind of Blood Warriors group, morphed into a group called Mad Blankly, I think they were called. But in that group was Akira Tozawa, who you might have seen on the CWC. They had feuds with some other stables, one of the other stables being Ronin. And in that stable, I seem to recall Rich Swann, Johnny Gargano, I can't remember who the other person was, but you know, a lot of the people that you will have seen on the CWC, the Cruiserweight Classic, you know, Apollo Crews was wrestling those guys 3-4 years ago. So it's crazy to think like that, how that class and that group of people have now all found their way, or a lot of them have found their way to the WWE. He had some big matches as well over in Dragon Gate at the main kind of part of the promotion. Because the US part of it is like a bit to the side. The main Dragon Gate is over in Japan. He went over there and he challenged for the, I forget what it's called, it's the, I did write it down, the Open the Dream Gate Championship, and his opponent was Ricochet, who you might know as Prince Puma from Lucha Underground. Unfortunately he lost that. He also challenged for the Dragon Gate USA top title, which I think is called the Freedom Championship, I seem to recall, and Johnny Gargano was the champion on that. He lost that as well. So he didn't get a great deal of success when it came to the big marquee matches, but he was always there or thereabouts in the main events. And he impressed WWE so much he signed to NXT in 2014. Late 2014, made his debut 2015. He was actually at Brooklyn Takeover. I think, who was his opponent? Brooklyn Takeover, I think it was Ty Dillinger, and yeah, he wins that match. And to be honest, he kind of didn't really kick on in NXT. He had a couple of like matches against people, but he didn't really ever challenge for the top title, and he didn't even feel like he was getting close to that. NXT felt to me like a bit of a step backwards for him, but clearly he showed enough because on April, just after WrestleMania of this year, 2016, he gets called up to the main roster. And so now you can see Apollo Crews on the main roster. He's on the SmackDown roster following the brand split. And again, you know, he's still not had much to get his teeth into. So really, since the start of 2015, he's, for me anyway, struggled. I think he's got masses of potential. He's a big guy, powerful guy, very agile, very good, like high flyer. Not a luchador, you know. You don't see like Frankensteiners and Hurricanranas and Inziguris or things like that. But he's got a fantastic standing moonsault that he can deliver. He's very comfortable going up onto like the top turnbuckle. He's very strong. I've seen him, you know, he's an okay striker. He's not really known for striking. That's an element of his game I'm sure he can work on. But I just think that, and I think that WWE think also, this is one for the future. If he gets his carrots right. I mean, remember Rock, when The Rock came in, he was Rocky Maivia, and took him a long time to kind of get, you know, settled into the groove, and then once he got settled, went on to become one of the biggest stars in the history of the industry. I'm not saying that Apollo can reach those levels, but what I am saying is he's still finding his feet, and it's still early doors, and he wasn't down in NXT that long, but he has got just such a fantastic history to him. I can see him competing for top titles. This is the first time to Lion that we get an Apollo Crews figure, and yeah, I just think this looks from the front awesome. Really good face scan, body type looks really strong. It says Apollo on the front of his attire. It's very simple attire, but doesn't really need to be anything else. So yeah, this looks pretty cool to me. So you got old Smiley McSmilerson on the front there, and other ones in the series: John Cena, Braun Strowman, Brock Lesnar, Lana, Dolph Ziggler, and also Xavier Woods in the red attire, and then NXT branded this one, which is interesting because, as we said, he's been on the main roster since April. Apollo Crews. So personally, I prefer Uhaa Nation as his name. It's a shame they didn't go with like Apollo Nation. Apollo Nation, that would have been awesome. So yeah, I'm not a massive fan of the name. But anyway, let's get the figure out. Boom. Okay, it's just a basic. So obviously the articulation's not going to be there in the middle, doesn't come with any accessories. So really what you see is what you get. The front, you know, really smart. And you've got like, I'm not sure what the design is on the back, to tell the truth. But there is something on the back. Don't know if you can just make that out. I can't make out really what it is. I don't know if it says Cruise or if it's like a CZ. I can't. It's really difficult to make out. But it definitely says Apollo on the front. I think the face scan, as we said, I think that is a really cool face scan. And I've got to be honest, I'm just really excited to have a Uhaa Nation figure. You know, I did see some of his matches on YouTube before he signed with NXT. So the fact now that Mattel have given me a figure of the guy, mind blown. So I really like it. I really like it. Really like the face scan. I can't mark it down for being like bland. I think the body type looks good. I can't make out what it says on the back. I think this is good. I'm quite happy to give that a 9. I think that's a very good basic. There's not really much else that you could do or have with it, because this is what he wore. This is his ring attire, and I think that face scan is very good. I'm just going to hold back without giving it a 10, because I just think there's maybe a few areas like the printing on the ring attire that they could just tighten up a little bit on. Awesome, guys. Hope you found that informative. Give the video a like if you liked it. If you haven't subscribed yet, then really would appreciate it if you could. From me and Apollo Uhaa Nation Crews, hopefully see you again next time. Bye for now.